a review of a Morris fuse box. So here's a Morris fuse box which I took off our 1954, and in so doing completely knackered it because it was brittle and old, and it was in a real state in the car. So I can't see what I'm doing with a fuse box because of the lettering and numbering in it. So I'm going to hand over to my good lady wife, and she'll explain to you all about the fuse box.
Okay, so there's two fuses on it, and normally these are 35 amp, and actually you'll see even on this one, which is really old, it's a 35 amp fuse. And also you have two places for spare ones as well, so you can fit spare ones in, so that when they go, you've got another one to go in there instead. So you've got one that goes from A1 to A2, and you've got one that goes from A3 to A4. So the fuse from A1 to A2 protects electrical items like the horn and the lights, and these function regardless of whether the ignition is on or not. And then you have a fuse that goes from A3 to A4 that protects the ignition system and items which operate when the ignition is switched on. And these will include the brake lights, the fuel gauge, the flasher unit, and the windscreen wiper motor. So when you have an issue with any of those components, you'll know if it is this fuse because you'll find that the brake lights, the fuel gauge, the flasher unit, and the windscreen wiper motor will not run, and that will indicate to you that it's this fuse which has gone. You also, in later models, and we've got it in our 71 Traveller, have additional 10 amp fuses which are fitted in the pilot light and tail light circuit, and it's in a tube just below the regulator. It sort of hangs in a line of tubing, and that fuse is accessed by twisting and pressing in one end and pulling the assembly apart and taking the fuse out. So that's a 10 amp fuse, whereas these are generally 35 amp fuses. So if you want a printout version of what we've been talking about with the fuse box, there's a printable on our website, and it's also available online on our website as well, and that's blindmanmorris.com.
And there you go.